everyone, time for another Flower Club delivery. We are in autumn now. We've got some beautiful autumn flowers for you. A bit too early in autumn to have the beautiful yellow and red and orange foliage, but I've got some gorgeous things. This week, tomorrow, your delivery's coming tomorrow. I've got some Smokebush, which is a gorgeous plummy coloured foliage. In summertime, just before Christmas, the Smokebush has its flowers and they look like puffs of smoke out the top. So if you've seen that around, you'll know how gorgeous it is. So we've got Smokebush. We've got pineapple lilies. They're called pineapple lilies because you can see the top of them. They look a bit like a pineapple. But they have a very mild fragrance, not like your oriental lilies, which some people hate. I've got some sedum, beautiful blush pink, and we've got some Proteas, pink ice Proteas. So, once again, you can always put these in separate vases however you like, but I'm going to show you how to do something very quick and easy with everything in the one vase. And it's going to be an asymmetrical arrangement, front facing asymmetrical. So it's not going to be the same all around. It's going to have some height in one area and some something a bit lower in another. And we're going to have focal areas. We're going to group together all the flowers. But we're going to start with our Smokebush and our pineapple lilies. So the first thing I'm going to do is take 2 stems of my Smokebush. So in a bunch of Smokebush, there's only 5 stems. But rather than strip all the lower leaves and just use the 5 stems, we can make it go further so I'm going to take 2 of my stems and cut it into 2 pieces. So I will cut it about, hang on a minute, about there. So then I have 2 pieces. That in for the water. And then that's the top part. I strip the leaves off for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 2 bottoms and 2 tops. And then I'll have 3 taller pieces as well. I'm going to create a little framework just by crossing them over like a teepee. Like that. Gives us our low standing shape and frame. Now your vase, once again, should be about 1/3 of the size of your overall arrangement because the pineapple lilies are really tall. I'm next going to put in my pineapple lilies, and I'm going to put all 3 of them, so you'll be getting 3, at a different angle. Now these are a little bit sappy. You can see they're a little bit drooly when you cut them, but that's all right. Now these are going to struggle to stay in place. So if at first, so if you feel more comfortable, you can do some tape, a crisscross tape, or you can do if you're using an opaque vase, you can use your chicken wire base to hold everything in place. But don't worry too much because we'll reposition everything as we go along. So I'm putting in 3 pineapple lilies, and they're all going to be at a different height. So 1. So this one's on an angle crossed over, and then this one I've put in straight and it's resting on the one in front of it. And this one, I think I'll make it, yeah, I'm going to make him my tallest. So I'm only going to snip a little bit off the back of him, off the bottom of him. And the pineapple lilies already have nice naked stems, so not too much work. And the same with the Smokebush, there's not too many leaves, so it's not too messy. I'm blocking myself out, aren't I? Alright, I'm next going to move on to my Proteas. So, shut that on hard. These are pink ice Proteas. They're very dirty. So we're going to strip all the lower stems off these. And they're a really grotty, woody stem. So if you've got a clear vase, critters in there. If you've got a clear vase, it pays to give the stem a really good clean. I get a cloth or a sponge or something and clean that right off, just to keep the water as clean as possible. Remember, anything that touches the water dirties the water. So I'm straightening him. Now he's a bit crooked, but that's okay because the way we're going to position them, it lends itself to a bit of an angled stem. So I've cleaned all the lower leaves off, even some of the ones that are there. Anything that's marked, any bugs, get rid of it. We've got a nice little protea there. And he's going to go, these are all leant forward, but the protea is going to hold them in place. He's going to go on the opposite side of my pineapple lilies. So they're on the left. It's my left. I don't know what it is for you. Maybe the right. They're on my left. All the proteas are going to go on the right hand side. So I'm going to cut it on an angle. And to make sure heaps of water gets up to the flower, I'm going to cut another slit in him like that. Just like we did with the Waratahs that time. So I popped him there on the side, just so. Next one. So we're going to have a little cluster of proteas and a cluster of pineapple lilies. The thing with clustering flowers together means that it creates a bit more of an impact, and it's a little bit easier to do rather than having things evenly spaced and looking perfect. It can be difficult to achieve that, and it's a little bit formal. So I know some people really prefer the more casual look of an asymmetrical arrangement. And actually, one of the flower clubbers, Sophie, if she's watching, she is an interior designer, and she always likes asymmetrical. And she actually requested that we do an asymmetrical arrangement. So, you know, I do what I can. So, oh, they're moving. See, this will drive you mad. But we'll primp it at the end. So the three proteas, once again, are going on at three different heights, but they'll be facing in the opposite direction to the pineapple lilies. Now, proteas are a really popular native. They are, we call it a native flower, but they're actually not native to Australia, they're native to South Africa. But because of their beautiful architectural, structural form, very similar to Australian Bagsias, they work really well with Australian natives. And they're equally long lasting. And actually, Australia and South Africa have a very similar climate, so that's, you know, it's no surprise that we have a similar type of native flora. All right, so we've got 3 tall pineapple lilies over here and 3 proteas in a cluster lower. Now, we need to bring it all together because we've got a big gap here, we've got a big gap here, so we've got gappy bits. And we want to have it in more of a, you know, a nice continual flow of gorgeousness. So that is where our sedum comes in. Now strip all the lower leaves of the sedum. Lots of people grow sedum in their garden too. It's a type of, I'm pretty sure it's a type of succulent. Lasts forever. Well, not forever, but you know, nice long lasting. All the leaves stripped off. And we're going to fill in this section here. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 8 stems in this bunch of sedum that I have, but see I've cleaned off all the lower leaves. I'm going to find my tallest piece, which is this one. I'm going to layer from to the front, and we're going to fill in this section here with sedum. A bit slimy. But I can thread that now through the stems of the pineapple lily at the back here. So it all starts to hold each other in place. So it's annoying to start with, that everything sort of flops everywhere, but just don't lose your cool. Be cool and just keep going. So this one's going to thread in next to it. You might not use all of your sedum in this arrangement, depends on the size. No, I've cut it too long. Depending on the size of your vase, you might only need a few stems. Okay. Another one in here. Yep. I'm just going to twirl it around so I can see it. Another one. All the Proteas should face the same way too. So we don't want, when they're like that, it's like, doesn't look good, doesn't look tidy. But this guy wants to keep flopping out, so I'll pop in another sedum in there. Determined. I've still got 3 stems left. I'm going to leave them to one side for a minute. And I'm going to fill in the back of this with some more Smokebush. One a little bit taller than the pineapple. One towards the back, and pop that pineapple lily up. And that stem of Smokebush holds that guy in place. And I've got one more here. And that'll just fill it in. I'm just going to give it all spin so you can see the back. So when it's facing a wall, it doesn't really matter what the back looks like. But if obviously it was on a table, it would matter. But since I've got the stems of sedum, I'm going to fill in here, and here, and another little one here. Now, having an argument with this Protea because he wants to be floppy. I'm going to convince him to stay there by giving him a twist. No. There we go. I swapped him over. This guy was being too floppy, so there he is there. So, there you have it. We've got our beautiful Proteas. Gorgeous dark red pineapple lilies. Blush pink sedum. And the beautiful maroon Smokebush. I'm faffing, but there we go. Now obviously you do what you like the best. You put your flowers, make your arrangement in the way that you like it, that you're happy with. Split them up amongst lots of different vases, put them all together. It's completely up to you. This is just a suggestion on how to do it. A few things to remember, because everyone's got their snips. Keep them nice and clean and sharp. You'll get a nice even cut. Always strip your stems as usual. Always strip your stems before they go in the water. Stops any muck getting in there and any diseases. Keeps your water cleaner, which makes your flowers last longer. What else? With an asymmetrical design, just remember balance. I've done everything in groups of 3, so I've got my 3 Proteas and the 3 Pineapple Lilies. Where there's something high, there needs to be something low on the opposite side, so that it has a flow and it balances. Yeah, if you've just got 3 sticking up there and then, you know, 3 in the middle, it's wrong. It doesn't look right. So yeah, just think about balance. Where there's an up, there must be a down to balance it out. I think that's about all. And you can, if you're not happy with it the first time you do it, tip it out, start again. But remember, you can't put stem length back on. So just be careful. It's better to have to cut it again to get the right length, rather than, you know, having it too short and going back. But there you have it. Proteas, Smokebush, Sedum and Pineapple Lilies. Beautiful autumn flowers. Oh, and you'll also get, I don't know if you can see behind me, I've got some snapdragons and some marigolds as well. You'll get a bunch of either snapdragons or marigolds. They were just too gorgeous, and they're farm fresh, beautiful flowers. The marigolds especially smell amazing. You'll just get an extra bunch of those as well in your delivery tomorrow, just for fun. I just really wanted you all to have a bunch. And I couldn't decide whether to do marigolds or snapdragons, so some of you are getting marigolds, some of you are getting snapdragons. Just strip those stems, put them in clean water in a separate vase somewhere, and enjoy. Alright. Okay guys, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.